Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So a quick update on Ahn Cheol-soo. His wife was confirmed to have been diagnosed with the Omicron variant, and so he's gone into self-quarantine. He has not tested positive, but he used this time over the weekend to hold his own press conference over YouTube, and he proposed to merge candidacies with Yoon Suk-yeol. So finally the cat is out of the bag. There is an offer on the table. However, it looks as if Yoon Suk-yeol has rejected this offer or sidestepped and said like, well, maybe it might be good, but there are some disappointing aspects to it. Mainly, Ahn Cheol-soo offered to create a unified candidacy based on opinion polls and to let an opinion poll decide who the candidate should be. That is what he did apparently when he was also running for Seoul mayor against Oh Se-hoon, and in that case, he merged his candidacy as well based on an opinion poll. Now, it looks as if maybe Yoon Suk-yeol is a little bit afraid of an opinion poll, because why would he not accept the offer if he was so sure that he would win? Because this merged candidacy, whoever is the nominee, Ahn Cheol-soo or Yoon Suk-yeol, would essentially guarantee a win for that team. Ahn Cheol-soo says that whoever becomes the candidate, the other person should be the running mate so that they should definitely move forward together. But it seems as if it's definitely a power play between the two, and most likely the camps, because no camp wants to concede, because everybody on Yoon Suk-yeol's side who is on the team doesn't want to suddenly be out of a job. They don't want to be out of the pole position of then running the government. So I think Ahn needs to really appeal to not only Yoon Suk-yeol, but the people around Yoon Suk-yeol and make them promises about where their spot would be. Because they're all going to be on one team, whether they like it or not. Eventually, most likely, these two guys will merge and have to team up. They're going to have to man up, and one of them is going to have to be the more gracious one and say, okay, dude, your name will be on the ballot. And let's just hope it's not the person whose wife seems to have been involved in a massive stock manipulation scheme involving a local BMW dealership or distributor. So Yoon Suk-yeol raised a lot of red flags this past week when he said that he promised to investigate the current Moon Jae-in administration for irregularities and corruption and prosecute those who are involved in bribery and other malfeasance. And odds are there probably are tons of people who deserve to be prosecuted and deserve to be investigated and deserve to go to jail, quite frankly, because every single administration is just open for corruption, because that's just the loosey-goosey structure of the Korean government. However, the way that he makes his remarks make it sound very dictatorial, punitive, and very scary in the sense that he would abuse his power right away. So, in a way, that is not a good look, and it again creates an atmosphere of this retaliatory revenge politics that has plagued Korea and Korea's democracy for generations. Now, he says that he wants to fight against corruption in the current Moon Jae-in administration, but perhaps he should have actually looked closer to home, right at his own wife, whose stock manipulation scandal hasn't fully been resolved. So for more than a year, prosecutors have been investigating Kim Kun-hee, his wife, over allegations that in a time period of between 2009 to 2012, she teamed up with Deutsche Motors, which is essentially a branch or authorized distributor dealership of BMW here in Korea. And she is being accused of stock manipulation. Now, in Korea, especially these micro cap stocks, like which this Deutsche Motors is one, is on a small enough scale where a few players can actually manipulate the stock price. And there were records where the Deutsche Motors team, the CEO, was upset about like the stock performance and really wanted to juice it up and to get it up there. And they came up with some sort of scheme apparently where Kim Kun-hee was a major shareholder at one point with about 7.5% of the company. So the controversy is that Yoon Suk-yeol said that, oh no, my wife basically was in the stock for about only 6 months. And in that 6 months, she actually lost $40,000. This was so horrible. But the records actually showed that she owned the stock for a lot longer of a period. She made a lot more transactions that they were stating. And there were a lot of suspicious back and forth movements in not only the account that they said was the only account, but some other accounts. So for example, when the stock was trading at about $5 to $6 a share, in November 2012, Kim Kun-hee received about 510,000 shares from the chairman at about like 20 cents a share. So I don't know why would she get stocks at 20 cents a share when they were trading around $5 to $6 a share? So that was about 100 million won, or about $100,000 she just gave, and she got all of these shares that were trading around $5 to $6 a share at the time. Then, and this was totally outside of the range of time period when Yoon Suk-yeol claimed that, oh, she was trading the stock. According to him, she was out of the stock. Then she flipped these shares not on the market, but she sold it to an investment company at 358 won each, which is about 35 cents. So she made a tiny little profit. She didn't sell it at $5 to $6. And so this is also a little bit shady. So she made about $70,000, but then why didn't she trade it on the open market and make a ton more money? So there's some kind of like scheme going on here, and of course it's not as easy to grasp as like steaks and sushis charged to the city and the taxpayer having to foot the bill. But this is a scale that's a little bit bigger, and there's probably a bigger con going on here. The chairman himself actually did get in trouble. He was actually arrested for manipulating the company's stock prices. He was the largest shareholder, and then Kim Kun-hee at the time was the second largest shareholder. So, what was she doing to have like all these shares? I don't know. And so he allegedly leaked insider information. He essentially also used accounts to create fake buying bids to jack up the prices. And so at one point, the stock went all the way up to about $8 a share. So there was a period of time when it was like $2.50 a share, and then their goal was to get it all the way up as high as possible, and went up to about $8 a share. So it seems as if their manipulation program did work, and that's why he got in trouble. And so now they're trying to make sure that actually Kim Kun-hee, the wife of Yoon Suk-yeol, also has some sort of responsibility to account for. The tip-off was that she actually had to pay taxes in 2013 on profits. So if she made profits, then obviously she didn't lose $40,000 on this stock trade, and even though they claimed that it was a loss, and there was no record of this. So this is becoming like a fiction, and in the grand scheme of things, Is this worse than charging sushi and steaks and hormone pills? They're both bad. The scale might be bigger, but they're both bad. And so, why do we want to just even deal with both of these women? I mean, I think the answer is clear. Just accept the offer, merge the candidacies, let's stop talking about this stupid stock price manipulation, stupid steaks and sushis and G80s that are in your apartment buildings parking lot instead of the city's parking lot. Because once it hits the blue house, like I said, it's gonna be huge, huge. Much bigger than just steaks, much bigger than micro cap stock manipulation. So why do we want to go through that? Accept Ahn Cheol-soo's offer and be done with it. Alright guys, what do you think? Like, share, subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.